I want to create a table for my item class. I'll be annotating with at the rate entity. Okay. Then I'll just specify my attributes private int item ID. And this private int item ID should be an primary key for me. That is why I'll be annotating with ID annotation. Okay. Then I'll say private string item name. Okay. Then private, let's say double cost. Okay. I'll just say item cost. Okay. These are the three attributes that we are going to use here. Okay. I'll just create getters and setters for this. Created getters and setters. I'll just save this. Now, in order to save this, I'll be creating an object for this class. I'll be creating an object for this class, and I have to save this data into database. In order to do that, I'll be creating a DAO class. Okay, just say new class item item DAO. Okay, item DAO. Here, I'll be writing all my methods in order to save, update, delete, and read. Okay, so I'll be writing a method, say public void, say public void. I'll just say the method name as save item. Okay, I'll be saving the method name as save item. This save item method should be accepting an object of item type. Okay, in order to save the item, I should accept an item object for the in this method. Okay, now in order to access our entity manager, entity transaction, all this, I'll be declaring this entity manager factory interface. Let's say EMF equals, call my helper class, that is persistence, which is giving us a method called create entity manager factory. And here we have to provide our mm, persistent unit
Main
name. I'll
method.
just check whether it's
The
is
main
in
method.
persistence. Yes, it is sigma. I'll just copy this. Sorry, come again.
Sir, main method you didn't given yet, sir.
So now I got a connection to my database. Just a minute. Yeah. I got a connection to my database. Now, in order to interact with my database, I need my entity manager, which provides us the methods such as persist, delete, persist, remove, merge, or find methods. Okay. So now I'll be getting an object for my um, entity manager using my entity manager factory object, which has a method called create entity manager. I just say enter, and it is a non-parameterized method. Okay, then I have to create an entity transaction, variable. I'll just say et, and for this you'll be getting a method from entity manager type object, which has a method called get connection, get transaction. Get transaction will be giving us a entity transaction type object. Okay, now I can perform CRUD operations here. You assume I am getting already a item object here. Okay, I'm getting an item object. I just, what's my task is to save this item. Okay, nothing else. Don't worry where it is coming from. It is coming from somewhere else. We'll be doing that later. Okay, in order to perform CRUD operations, we have to write methods. We are doing that now. Okay, I'll be calling my entity transaction type variable and say begin. Since it is a data manipulation like operation, we have to begin and end the transaction. Okay, then I will end my transaction here. I'll say commit, and between I'll transact my data. I'll just say, I'll call my entity manager object and say persist. Okay. I'll just say persist, and I'll be entering the item object here. Okay, that's it. This is all you have to write in order to perform insert operation of an object to the database. Okay, nothing else. This is to save an item to the save to save item to save item. More than enough. Okay. Next, we'll write a method to find an item. Okay, to find an item, a single item. Okay, we'll just say public public. If I'm finding some item, I have to return that item. I'll just keep my return type as item here. So I'll just say find item find item um, based on ID. Find item by ID. Okay, I'll be accepting a ID here to find the item. Okay, now in order to find an item, I don't have to begin the transaction and end the transaction because it is a DQL type of operation. Okay, so I'll just say em dot find. I have to specify which type of class I'm going to find. It is item dot. I have to specify it as a class, and I have to pass my primary key. Okay, so I'll just say one or then this will be returning me a item type object. I have to store it in a item type variable. Just say item and create a variable item. And then we have to return this item. Just say return item. That's it. So this particular method will be finding us an item and returning it back to us. Okay. Then we will be writing a method to update an item. So I'll just create a method public. You have to take behind this.
Am I audible now, guys?
Guys, am I audible now? Okay.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir,
guys.
it's
I don't know what
not.
happened. May I know where did you stop hearing me? Like, since when?
Sir, creating written, finding the method.
Okay, from finding item,
Yes,
until then you
uh,
are listening. Okay, updating
yes,
you
sir.
have to know. Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay, guys, okay, guys. So I've created a method update item. I've created a method update item. If I want to update an item, I have to find the like a present item from the database, right? We are going to update an item in the database only. So if I want to update something, I have to first fetch that item from the database, then I have to update it. Okay. So here, uh, this is not the way, sorry. This is not the way you have to do. Here, assume there is an updated item already coming to this method. Okay, taking a parameter of an item object, which is already updated from somewhere. Okay, we're just going to write a methods and how we are going to perform, we'll see. Okay, so say item, item equals. In order to update an item, I have to begin the transaction and end the transaction. I'll just say et.begin and I'll just say em dot. In order to merge a object, I have to say, yeah, in order to update a object, I have to say merge. Okay, and I have to pass an item, pass the object, whichever is there. Here in our case, we have item. Okay, then I'll just say et dot commit in order to end the transaction. That's it, in order to update an object. Next, we'll write a method to delete an item. Okay, write a method to this public void delete item. Okay, delete item. In order to delete item, again you have to what get an item from the get an item. Okay, so I'll just say item. Just in order, if we are deleting an item, that means we are performing a data manipulation operation. Then we have to begin transaction and we have to say remove remove item, then et dot commit, okay, to end the transaction. Then later we have to write another method to find all the items. Okay, we'll just say public. Here, this method will be returning us a list of items. So I'll be keeping the return type as list. Okay, of item type. Then I'll say uh, get the method name as get all items. Okay, just say method name as get all items, and it will be a non-parameterized method. We will just say em dot. You know how to write a query? Voice is breaking. Am I audible to you guys?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
It's clear. It's clear. Or maybe whoever said that, Prasad, maybe your side network is a little bit not that good. So just look at that. Okay, we'll continue. We were writing the code to get all the items from the database. In order to get all the items from the database, we have to create a query. I taught you how to write a JPQL query. Any doubts on JPQL query? Create query. I'll just say create query and I'll be passing my query here. The query is select, let's say I, select I from item. Item is my class and I is a variable of my class. Okay. Then, then I'll be storing this into an list of item type object, list of item type object. I'll just say items. Okay. We just need to cast this into list of items. Okay, downcast. We have just have to downcast it. Then later you just have to return items. What we did, We created a query to get all the data from the database, all the items from the database. Then we just we just stored that into an items type variable, items type variable of list, variable of type list of items. Okay, now we have everything that we need in order to perform CRUD operations in our DAO layer, and we will not be doing anything other than this in our DAO layer. Okay, this is to find all items. Okay, that's it. Other than this, there should be nothing in our DAO layer. Okay, then we will be creating another class, naming it as driver. Okay, we'll be creating another class, naming it as driver. Okay, here we'll be writing our main method. Here we'll be writing our main method. Now I want to insert data into my table. I want to insert my data into my table. I'll just say insert, inserting data, inserting data. Okay, here I have to first create my item object. Item equals new item. Okay, now I have to set my item, initialize my item variables. I'll just say item dot set item id. I'll just say 101. Then I'll just say item dot set item name, will be keeping it as laptop. Okay, and item dot set cost, will be keeping it around 60K. Okay, that's it. Now I have set all the values into my object. I just have to call my save method, and save method from the DAO. In order to call my save methods from the DAO, I'll just create an object previously here. I'll just say item DAO, DAO equals new item DAO. That's it. Okay, now this item DAO has method to perform all the CRUD operations. I'll just say DAO dot save item. That's it. Okay, this is all you have to do in order to insert the data. Okay, so let's run this. Just a minute. I'll just create another. Let it be in class 2. Okay, we'll keep it as class 3. Database name as class 3. We are going to create our database. We are going to create a table item, and we are going to insert this particular data. Okay, so we'll just see how it is going to happen. We'll just run this program and check it out. As you can see, our create table query is successfully created. Then we have, okay, there is a create user table also got created. If you ask why create user is created, once you run your project, if you have changed your database, automatically every tables for your whole project will be created. Since I have another package having a user table, user class here, for that also it is creating the table. Okay, once you run your project, as soon as you run, if it is a new database, every tables will be created automatically. Okay, next, my insert operation to item is perfectly created. Okay, now we'll just go to my database. Let's go to my database and search for class 3. Let's refresh this, and we have our class 3 here. Okay, and just open this, open my tables, and I have item table. If I open this, I'll just zoom in and use a magnifier a little. So as you can see, there is a class 3 database as it is said, and there is a item and user table. Why user table is created? Because user is also present inside our particular project itself. So once you run the program, the table will be created for every entity class in the particular project. Okay, that is why user table is also created, but we have not inserted any data here. It will be empty user table. Okay, let's not worry about the user table for now. We just check what is item doing. So if you can see, I have inserted the ID 101. I have given the cost as 60,000. written what I given the name as laptop. Okay, item name as laptop. Come back to this, and now let us try to take user input. Okay, let us try to take user input. I'll be declaring a scanner class here. I'll be declaring a scanner class here. I'll import scanner and say sc equals new scanner system dot in. Okay, system dot in. That's it. Now let us take input from the user. Just a minute, guys. Don't Please don't mind. Okay. Was that? Why are we creating another class named as driver in order to create our main method? Okay, in real world projects, we'll be creating layers of classes. Okay, layers of packages. You can tell here in for now we are just dealing with one package, but every time your entity class should be separate. Just like your entity class, you just have getters and setters. Even your DAO class should be having methods in order to perform CRUD operations and nothing else. Main class main method should be in a different class. That is why I created a class called driver, and driver is not specific. You can create it as with using any name. No issues. Okay. Now let us take input from this user. I'll just notify my user. What the queries you have, Ritika? Why are you using public method to perform CRUD operations? Why should we use public methods, Ritika? In what scenarios will be using public methods? I'll just ask my user. Don't get confused, guys. Ritika, just ask your queries after the completion of class when I ask you to ask doubts. Okay, not now. Don't interrupt the class. Yeah. So I'll just say my user to enter ID. Okay. Just say my user to enter ID, and I'll be taking the input directly here from my user. Okay, I'll just call my scanner object and say next. It's called scanner only. I've declared my object as scanner only. I'll just say next int. Okay. Then ask my user to enter name. Enter name I'll tell, and I'll take the input directly into my setters. The object is scanner dot set next. Choose next method, and we'll just call my scanner object here also. Before that, let me notify my user. Let me notify my user. User to enter the cost. Enter cost. The cost. Okay, and I'll be directly taking the input inside my setter method again. Just call my scanner object and say next double to take a double type input. Okay. Yeah. Now let us try to run this. I'll just say out uh, insert I'll just be saying insert successful here. Now let us run our program. So it is asking me to enter the ID. I'll just say 102. And it's asking me to enter the name. I'll be entering TV. TV as my another item, and the cost I'll be putting around 28,000. Okay, enter. It has successfully created our insert query, and it is also saying insert successful. Okay, insert successful. Let me rerun this program again and insert another data. Okay, we'll say 103 to this, and it is asking for the name. The next item is projector. Let's take projector, and um, the cost is around 10K. Okay. The cost is around 10K, and it is again saying query also for us, and it's saying insert successful. That's it. Okay, I will go to our database and check if the data has been inserted. Okay, the data of 102 ID, 103 ID has been successfully inserted. Now we know how to perform insert operations. We'll just comment this. Okay, we'll just comment so much. Not this. And try to find a particular 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 data. Okay, to find a particular data, we just need to call our find method. We'll just call our DAO class, DAO object, and say find item by ID. I'll be passing 102 here. That's it. If I want to find a particular data, I'll be calling my find item by ID. And what is there in find item by ID? It is finding an ID, finding an object from using a primary key of a certain class type, and it is just returning that item. Okay. So we'll go to our driver class. We'll just try to run this. If I have to print this, it will find, but I'm nowhere printing this. I'll just store it in a item item type variable item type variable and just sys out the product name, the item name. Okay, so I'll just say item dot get name. I'll just print the name of the item. Okay, let us try to run this, and you can see I have found laptop of ID 102. Let us go. Let us go to our database and check if the okay it has found. Okay, okay. Sorry, guys. In DAO, I have mentioned the ID here already. I shouldn't mention my ID here. That is why it is working like this. Okay. I should mention ID itself, the ID that is coming from another request. Okay. So the ID which is coming from the called method is what I'm using it here, not my default method. Before it was 101. That is why you're getting laptop as output, because laptop is of ID 101. Okay. Now I'll just run this driver class. We should be getting TV as an output. We should be getting TV as an output. Yes, we have got TV as output of ID 102. We'll be calling uh, we'll be calling the product of ID 103. It should be projector. Let's see if it is, yes, if it is correctly printing projector. Okay. Now we'll write a query to find all the data. Find all items. Find all items. Okay. Find all items. We just need to again call our DAO object and say find. Sorry, it is, I think, get all items. The method name is get all items that I've given. That's it. No parameters, nothing for this particular method. Here, if you can see, it is a non-parameterized method which will just find all the items and give it to you. Okay, just save this and run this. Let's see what we'll get. Okay, just an exception, class cast exception. Cast. Okay, this is wrong. I have imported a wrong. Just I don't need to cast this actually. Okay, maybe this queried query is of different type. Just a minute, guys. em dot create query. See, during selecting this create query method, no, there are lots of create query methods. Okay, you have to select. As I can see here, if I control say space, there are about 5 create query methods. Okay, you have to select the one which is asking for string SQL string, a string SQL string as a QL string as a input argument and returning a query type object. Last time I have imported the wrong one, that is why it was showing error. Okay, that is why it was showing error. Just say select I from item. Okay. Then later you should not store this. This is returning this method, particular method. If I hover it and see, this is returning a query instance to me. Okay. I have to store it in a query type object. I have to store it in a query type object. Say query. Say query. Query equals. Import this query. To import this query from Java X dot persistence package. Yes, perfect. Now what I have to have to create a list type items variable, items type list of variables, that is saying items equals, have to call this query object. I have to call this query object which is having my result. Okay, but it is not in a form of list. There is a method called get result set list. Okay, which is going to get us the list of object um, it has been retrieved from the database. That's it. So I hope you understood this. We did this thing same thing day for yesterday also. So we are just creating a query, and this create query method will be returning us a query type object. We'll store it in a query object. Okay. Then later we'll be fetching our list. We'll be fetching our list from the query object and storing it in a variable items of list of items type. Okay. Then we will be returning these items. This is how you will find multiple items. Okay, just save this and let us run and see if we are getting. Okay, so as you can see, our select query has successfully been created, but we are not printing it anywhere. Okay, I'll just create, declare a variable, declare a variable. Sorry, we have to import list and say item type items equals. There's nothing new I'm doing, guys. I don't know how you are telling repeat. That day I asked and you people said I've understood completely. I think I did it very well that day. Okay. Now I have list of items. I'll just iterate over them. Okay. While I just take a while loop while items dot next method with this. I'll just say contains. This also will you use a for each loop? Sorry, we don't want to use while loop. We'll use a for each loop. I think you people know how to use a for each loop. Items and iterate over these items. Okay, so we'll just print this out the item names for now. Okay, so item dot get item dot get item name. Perfect. So now we'll just try to run this and see what we'll get. So I have successfully created the query to created the query to find all items, and I have successfully retrieved all the items from the database, that is laptop, TV, and projector. So hope you got this. I'm just calling my DAO object and for calling my get all items method and storing it in a items type variable of list of items type. And here, then later, I'm just iterating over them and printing their name. Okay. And coming to DAO, here we are doing nothing. Someone wants me to repeat, that's why I'm repeating. Okay, we have a entity manager type object. It has a method called create query. Okay, which will basically take a JPQL type query. Okay, it will which will basically take a JPQL query. Okay, so I have written my JPQL query, that is select I from items I. Okay, then this query method will be returning us a query type object. That is why I'm storing it in a query object. Then I want my list. I have to return my list, not query. Okay, so I have to return my list. How will I return? I'll just say query dot get result list, which is present. That this get result list method is present in our query object itself. Okay, now I'll be storing it in a list of items type items variable. Okay, then I'll be returning these items here. That is all I'm doing. That is all it is there. There is nothing to scroll up here. Okay, that's it. Now we'll try to update an object. Let us comment this. We don't want to find all the time when we are doing these operations. Now we'll just write a method. We'll just call our find or update method. Okay, so we'll just write to update item. To update item, I said you that in order to update the item, I have to find the item again. I have to find an item from the database, right? First, I have to find the item which I want to update from the database. Then I have to update that item. So I have a method to find an item. I'll just say item equals. I'll just call DAO object and say find item by ID. I want to update TV, okay, which is of 102 ID. Okay, I'm just finding that item and storing it in item type variable. Now I'll just be calling my DAO object and call my update item method and store this item over there. Send this item over there. Okay, so this particular item, what is this item of ID 102? Which item it is? TV. So this particular TV item is being carried to this update item method. It will go to update item method here, and it will update the item. But before updating, I have to change the change something in order to update. It will still update. It will still update, but I want to change my product product cost. Okay, my TV cost has been changed. So I'll say set cost, set item cost. I'll just say it as 43,000. Okay, I'll just save it. I'll just change it to 43,000. Okay, I just changed my item cost to 43,000, and I'm passing my edited object, that is item, to the DAO class, which is having update item method. To this method, particular method I'm passing, and here this method is doing for us a update operation. Okay, done. So let us run this program and see if first we'll go to our database and see what is there exactly. Okay, so I have my TV of 28,000. I want to update this into 43,000. Okay, so I'll just come back, run this project, and show if it has been updated or not. Yeah, so we have created. Just give me a second, guys. Sorry for the disturbance. So as you can see, we have created update query successfully. That means we have performed our update operation successfully. We'll go to our database and refresh this and see. Let me just magnify a little bit. And here the cost here now is 28,000. Let us refresh this. We can see here it is now 43,000. This is all you do in order to update our data. Okay, zoom out. So if you want to take a user input to this, you can just say sysout. You can say your user enter the the product ID to update. Okay, I'll just say my user enter the product ID to update. Okay, to update. And here I'll just call my scanner object and take input from the user, that is next int. Okay, then I'll just say my user enter. So I'll just enter say my user enter the cost to update. Okay, I'll be specifically updating cost here. That's why I'll be mentioning how to update cost. Okay, then then I'll just take a scanner input inside this setter method. Scanner dot next double. Since it is a double type data, we'll be using calling next double method. We just run this, and I want to enter my TV cost is too high. I want to reduce a little bit. It will ask me to update, like enter a cost to update. I would just want to keep it as 32,000. Update operation has successfully done. It has created us a update query successfully. We'll just go to our workbench and zoom in a little bit. And now it is 43,000. It has to reduce to 32,000. As you can see, I have successfully updated taking the user input now. Okay. This is what we do in order to update the data using Hibernate. Okay. Now, now, now we'll try to delete one of the object. Okay. To delete item. Delete item, we'll just sys out our user, enter the item ID to to delete. I'll just say my user to enter the ID of my item to delete. Okay, I'll just find my item here. Item equals dao dot find item by ID. I'll just I'll just use my scanner class inside this method itself. I'll just say scanner dot next int. That's it. Okay. Now, okay. So my user has given an input, and I've found that item. So in order to delete an item in the database, first I have to find the item from the database. Okay. Now I have found it. Now the next step is to call my delete method in my DAO class. I'll just say DAO dot delete item. That's it. Okay. Now I'll run this. Just run this, and we'll try to delete our product in 103. 103, we have projector. I'll just say enter, and you can see delete operation is successful. Our delete query has successfully generated delete from item where ID equals parameterized placeholder. Okay, now we'll just zoom this. Now, according to me, this 103 ID should be product in 103 ID should be deleted. We'll just refresh. As you can see, it has been successfully deleted. That means we have performed all our CRUD operations successfully, but in different layers. That is a layer of main method, a layer of DAO, and a layer of DTO class. Okay. Any doubts, guys, regarding this? Whatever we did today? regarding whatever we did today? Guys, any doubts? Understood? Ritika? See, we are not going to do the same things again and again, Ritika. I don't know, Ritika, someone I don't know. See, we are not going to do same things again and again. We have to update. See, in that case, you should be using JDBC only. Okay, there is a lot of things to learn, and you have to separate things. Okay, you have to separate the like responsibilities based on the operation. My main method is to perform some user side operations. Okay, as you can see, I'm passing the request to delete an object, save an object from the main method. That is acting like my user side. Okay, and DAO is some intermediate who is interacting with my uh, main method and my database. Okay, we'll be separating the layers based on the responsibility. Okay, so you got that. Any doubts, guys? There is a no issue if we are creating another method in another class. There is no issue. That is an advancement in your learning. No, while fetching, you don't need to open and close the connections because it is not a manipulative operation. If you want to take screenshot, I'll be showing it the end. I am asking you people whether you have understood or not. Vinod, respond to your teacher. Okay, I am asking them something and you have no respect. You're asking your own questions. What type of behavior is this? I'm seeing you. Have some respect, guys. So many of you, I'm asking something and you're asking same another thing to me again. You people can understand my class, right? If there is an issue, please come up and speak. Okay. I don't think I've ever ignored anyone's request. I've explained it. Even though I've said you have to learn by yourself, I've explained it. I think I did it. Okay, whatever. So I hope you people have no doubts till now. Now we will be starting our new concept called as mapping. We'll be starting our new concept called as mapping today. Okay. So just a minute. Just a minute. Just give me a minute, guys. No, 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 Rutika, you have time now. I asked you to ask doubt only. Please come up and speak. Rutika, Rutika, you're saying you have doubt. Please come up and speak. Sorry. Two way to perform CRUD operations. How? Rutika, please come up and speak. If you can't speak, I will not be able to answer you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please speak.
Earlier in the last class, without using main method, you had performed the CRUD
Yeah.
operations.
Okay.
But today, using the main method, you have performed the CRUD operations. So my doubt is, is it silly coincidence?
I got to understand your question, but see, just mute your mic. Yeah. So, Rutika, it is nothing like that two way or one way. Okay. See, directly, if I show you creating the methods and making them understand, it will be little bit difficult to you people. Okay. That is why I told you to. I say I did the CRUD operation in the main method itself. There is no two way or one way. There is only one way. That is using entity manager factory, and entity transaction. Okay. Creating methods is in our convenience. We create methods to our convenience. Is it easy now to perform CRUD operations once we create CRUD methods in other class, and whenever we want, we'll be calling it in our main method? It is more organized and it is more readable, right? We cannot run a program without main method. That is one thing. In any of your package or any of your class, at least one class should be having a main method in order to run your project. Okay.
So my doubt is where you have performed the CRUD operations means to merge or to delete. There you have
Yes.
used the public method and uh, can we perform the CRUD operations without using that method like earlier you did?
Oh my God. Rutika, see, you cannot build a project without, if I have to say something basically, you cannot build a project without methods. If you're thinking randomly, like how you do in JavaScript, and or if you have learned JavaScript without having methods or without having anything, you declare things. You can't do that in this. Okay, just a minute. You have a announcement. Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can take over. Just stop the presentation. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, guys. This is Varshita from HR team. Am I audible? Okay. So you have a two requirements. So please take a screenshot of this.
Ma'am, screen is not visible.
So once you're done with your class, please go through once and check it out. If you are suitable for this company, please ping your details to HR, your name, contact number, and company code. The last requirement is it's for only
Ma'am,
for male
screen is not
candidates.
visible, ma'am.
Screen is not shared.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. It's visible now. Sorry. So please take a screenshot of this. So last requirement is for only for male candidates. So if you are suitable for these companies, please bring your details to HR. For your registration, please bring your details, your name, contact number, and company code. So please take a screenshot. Shall I stop sharing the screen now? Yes, yesterday's the one guy has shared the number, so he has registered for Pune. They will only call for you, okay? So I'll stop sharing the screen now. Aniket, sorry, some Nazirkar has shared the number yesterday. So he will call. They will only call you them. They will only call you. Then you can contact them. I will let you know, guys. For Pune requirement, you all registered for Pune requirement. Okay. Kalyani, can you please share number your number and Ravindra. They will call you. Can you please contact to the HRs once? Okay. You will get a requirement. So please have a patience. Guys, I've shared the new batch link in your broadcast. Please check it out. No, they will respond. So you have a HR's number, right? So please contact them once. Guys, I've shared the new patch link in your broadcast. Please check it out. We're gonna start our web technology and aptitude. For aptitude, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. For web technology, I have a three different time slots: 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So if you are interested, please go ahead. Hope you all receive the link. Okay. So if you are interested, please attend the classes. Okay. So that's it from my end, guys. For your registration, please ping your details, your name, contact number, and company code. So thank you, guys. Thank you, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
So guys, we'll just come back. So where I was, I was answering Rutika, I think. See, it is a standard way, okay? So you more than explaining you now, you will get to know in the future. Don't worry, Rutika, okay? Why we have to go for methods? It is a standard way of writing your operations. Other than doing your operations without using methods, see, if I want to perform save operation, I can just call a method whenever I want. Other than creating saying what begin transaction end transaction every time I can do so write that set of codes in a method and call that method whenever I want. Is that more efficient way to code? Is right. That is the reason. Okay, don't complicate yourself, Pratika. You complicate things very well. Okay, it's okay, fine. So I was telling about one to one. Sorry, I was talking about mapping. Okay. So, as I told you in the beginning, I said you that we can establish relationship between two tables here. Okay, as I told you in the beginning, using Hibernate, yeah, using Hibernate, we can build relationship between two objects or two classes. So as I said in JDBC, it is hard to build a relationship between two tables, that is a foreign like parent child relationship. Oh, sorry guys, I stopped. I thought, yeah, sorry, my bad. Sorry. Okay, is it visible now? Okay, yeah, you can see my whiteboard, right? So as I said before, using JDBC, it is not easy to build connection between two tables, a foreign and a primary key, a foreign key relationship in specific. So here in Hibernate, we can achieve that easily. There is a concept called mapping. There is a concept called mapping. Mapping. This particular concept will help us to build relationship between two tables. So how are we going to do that? Imagine I have a scenario. Imagine I have a scenario. There is a class pan and there is a class Aadhaar. Okay. There is a class pan and there is a class Aadhaar. This pan will be list of, sorry, not pan, not pan, sorry. It is person. Okay. There is a class person and there is a class Aadhaar. If I say at the rate entity for both of these, at the rate entity for both of these, say they have attributes id, name, more than enough. And Aadhaar will be again having ID and Aadhaar number. I'll just say A number. Okay. So imagine they have these both attributes. Okay. Now this person will be having another. A one person can have one Aadhaar. Is that right? So in terms of composition, how will you do this? You just create a variable of Aadhaar type here in order to insert Aadhaar. Aadhaar, is that correct way? I'll just create a variable of Aadhaar inside this person class. So this person will be having one single Aadhaar. Okay, but I have to specify my Hibernate that I have to specify my Hibernate that this Aadhaar here, this Aadhaar here, when a table is imagine when a table is created, when a table is created, there'll be two columns here and there'll be three columns here. Okay, this is a this is person table, this is person table, and this is Aadhaar table. Okay, in Aadhaar we have two attributes, ID and Aadhaar number, and here in person we have three attributes, that is ID, name, and Aadhaar. Okay, Aadhaar, we have three attributes and I have to specify my Hibernate. This is the foreign key of foreign key and a primary key of table Aadhaar. I have to specify that to my Hibernate, okay, to build a connection between these two tables, because I cannot be injecting objects into my date into my uh, RDBMS table. Is that correct? Can we inject a complete table in that sense, a complete row of data can I inject inside this particular Aadhaar cell, this particular one cell? It is impossible, right? I have to store the ID of this, that is primary key, that is that is primary key, that is primary key of Aadhaar table into this foreign key table, sorry, person table as a foreign key. So they should be having ID of Aadhaar. This column should be having ID of Aadhaar instead of all the data. Here what I am doing, I am just adding all complete object into my person table. But when that table is created, only primary key should be primary key column should be established. How will you achieve that? You have to just specify your Hibernate that at the rate at the rate 1 to 1. Why 1 to 1? 1 to 1 because a single person can only have one single Aadhaar card. Such type of relationship, if there is such type of relationship, we will be annotating 1 to 1. Okay. So understood what's happening here? If I say at the rate entity for both of these classes, there will be two tables created, that is person table and Aadhaar table. Now I have to assign this particular Aadhaar to this person. In terms of Java, we will just create the variable of Aadhaar type here and just inject it. But I have to specify my Hibernate that this particular attribute is going to be the foreign key in my table. Okay, so what will my Hibernate will do? It will take the ID of this particular Aadhaar and make a foreign key column. Okay, and it will be related to this Aadhaar table. This foreign key will be the primary key of this Aadhaar table. That is all it is happening. And 1 to 1, why? Because a person can have only one Aadhaar card. Say a person and Aadhaar, a person and PAN, a person and DL. Okay, these things have only 1 to 1 relationship. Either Aadhaar cannot be having multiple person data, like one Aadhaar cannot be assigned to multiple person, or either or neither multiple person can have same single Aadhaar. Okay, in both the ways it is not possible, or a person cannot have multiple Aadhaar cards. Okay, a person cannot have multiple Aadhaar cards, or not Aadhaar cannot be assigned to multiple persons. A single person, a single Aadhaar, or a single person, if in case of PAN, a single PAN. Like this is a 1 to 1 relationship. Okay, we'll be doing this in our Eclipse and we'll try to understand what is exactly happening. I'll just create a new package here, a new class, say person. Okay, let's create a new class person in a class in a package class 3 mappings. Say let's say 1 to 1. Okay, in a package 1 to 1, I have a class person. I want to create table to this person. I'll just specify at the rate entity. Okay, then this person will be having an ID. I'll say int person person ID person ID. I'll just say private int person name and private. Sorry, its person name is string type. And I'll just say private string person address. Person address. Okay, that's it. And here I have to specify which is going to be my primary key. I'll just annotate at the rate ID above my person ID variable attribute variable. Okay, I'll just generate my getter setters. That's it. Now have generated successfully my getters and setters. My person class is completely ready. I have specified at the rate entity so that my Hibernate will create a table for this person class. Okay. Now I'll create a new class called as pan. Let's go to pan itself. Okay. Again, I want to create a table for this. I'll say at the rate entity. Okay. Then this pan will be having some ID, private, in, PAN ID. Okay, and just then this or it will be having a string type string PAN number PAN number. Okay, we have two attributes, and let's make our PAN ID as a primary key. Okay, now what we will do, we'll just generate getters and setters. Now I have a pan class and a person class. Now I have to assign this particular pan into person. How will we do that? We'll just come below and say private pan pan type pan. That's it. Now I have created a variable of pan type here. Now I want to specify my, let's run like this, or we'll try to um okay, okay, let's do it. So now I have to specify my Hibernate that this pan is going to be a foreign key inside my person table. For that, I'll just annotate with one to one annotation. Okay, that's it. So I'm just saying here this one person is just going to have one pan. Okay, one person is going to have one pan, and this person cannot have another pan, neither this pan cannot be assigned to another person. Okay, this is a one-to-one relationship. Okay, this pan once created and assigned to a person, it cannot be assigned to another person here, or neither a person when he has a pan, he cannot have another pan. This is our whole scenario, and this is how it works. Okay, and we'll just create our driver. We'll just create our driver class here. This case will not focus on the DAO layer. This case will not be focusing on the DAO layer. We'll be manually doing everything on the main method itself. Okay, just to make you understand what this one-to-one, what this mapping concept is. Okay, in terms we are learning now one-to-one relationship. In order for a person to have PAN, you should be having this PAN object first. In order for a person to have pan, you should be having pan object first. I'll just create a pan object. Pan equals new pan. Okay, I'll just set the attributes, set id, set pan id, let's say 1. Okay, then pan dot set pan number, will just say it will be of a string type.
Hello, sir. Screen is not visible and not audible, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
I think Salim.
Hello, anyone is there in class? Hello? Hello, anyone is there in class?
Yes, yes, the screen is on.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, can you hear me?
From start.
Guys, am I audible to you people?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Very sorry, guys. I was not aware that you people were not hearing to me. So since when you're not like able to interact with me?
From starting of the mapping of this.
Sir, you were setting the
You
PAN number.
hear? Did you people hear the?
You were setting the values of the
Okay,
PAN,
you
PAN
were
ID, PAN
you
number.
people were hearing the. Okay. We'll be continuing from there. So as you can see here, I
Sir,
have created a pan
screen is not.
object.
Sir, screen is not visible.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. Is it visible now? Visible now? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So now coming back to our driver class, here I have created a main method, get the entity transaction, entity manager, and entity manager factory objects. And here now I have created a pan object. In order to give the pan object to the person object, I should be having pan object first. So I'll be creating pan object first and setting the attributes. I have set the pan ID as one and pan number some random number. Okay. Then later, then later, I'll be creating a person object. This person will be having an ID. I've set the ID. This person has a name. I've set the name. This person has an address. I've set the address. Okay. Okay. So now I have to inject this pan into this person. I have to perform composition. So how am I going to do that? I just have a setter method set pan in my person. I'll just call set pan method and I'll be passing this pan object into this method. Okay, done. Now I have successfully set this pan to this particular pan object. Just as the way, in order to assign a pan object to the person object, I know in order to create a foreign key in a person table, I need to have a I need to have a pan table in my database first. So I'll be saving pan first. Okay, I'll just say persist persist. I'll be persisting pan first because in order to create a foreign key foreign key foreign key column in my person, I should be having that particular um, what related table. You call it as child table. Okay, so I'll just say em dot persist. First, I have to persist my pan. Then I have to persist this person because this person will be having pan. Okay, then I'll say entity transaction dot commit. Now, now I'll just change the values here. Okay, because I have performed inserting operation already, but you people were not able to listen to me. Okay, it's okay. I'll just delete the tables over there itself. Let it be these things like this only. Okay, I have just dropped them. Those all. Now there is no tables in my database. I'll just come here and run this. Okay, as soon as I run this, yeah, just a minute, guys. I just remove this comment, this entity. It is creating objects for these classes also. Just comment this. Okay. Okay. So I'll just refresh this. I've just created all the tables. Just remove these tables for now. Drop four tables. Drop. That's it. So we'll come back and run this program and see. This is our driver. Yeah, we have created a pan object, we have created a person object, we have assigned that pan to a person, and we persisted pan first, and then we persisted person first. Okay, so we have to create table for this and insert data here to see if the two queries are successfully generated. So as you can see, there is a create table pan query created successfully, and there is a create table person query successfully created, and there is another query alter table person add constraint. Which constraint? A foreign key constraint, a foreign key constraint. Okay, for my person table, add alter table person, it is saying. Okay, then I have inserted the data successfully into my pan. I have inserted the data into my person class, person table successfully. Let us go to our database. Just use a magnifier here. As you can see, there is no tables present now. As soon as I refresh, there should be a person table and pan table generated. As you can see, it has been generated. Let us see. My pan table should be having two columns, that is of ID and pan number, and it is having pan ID and pan number as a column and have some data inserted. Now my person table should be having my pan ID column as a foreign key column, in my person table. So let us see if it is present or not. As you can see, there is a person ID column, there is a person address column, there is a person name column, and there is another column which is of pan ID. This is the foreign key column, a foreign column of a primary key column of this pan. Okay, which is it is a foreign key column and it is a primary key column in a pan class. Okay, as you can see here, ID 1, person ID with 1 has been assigned to a person ID 101. And we'll come back and try to do some alterations here. Like we'll add some data and see what happens. Now I will not change the PAN, but I'll change the person ID. Okay. What I'm basically trying to do here is I'm trying to insert the same pan into another person. Okay, into another person, Sam. Okay, is it possible? Let us try. As you can see, there is a um, exception that it is saying duplicate entry 1 for pan. It is not taking another entry for pan, and it is also should be saying could not execute statement. It is saying, okay, it tried to insert the data. While inserting the data, our SQL or MySQL throwed an exception that there is a repetition of primary key. You cannot repeat the same ID for another person. It is just saying you cannot repeat the same primary key for another person. Now I'll just change this. Say, okay, I'll just change this and run this. We should be able to insert the data successfully. As you can see, we inserted into pan, we inserted into person successfully. Okay, we'll go to our database and the magnifier here again and just refresh this. We'll see if another data has been inserted. The person with ID 102 is assigned with a pan ID 1 or pad ID 2. We'll just go here and check if there is a pan with ID 2. Yes, there is a PAN with a ID 2 successfully has been generated. This is how you establish one-to-one relationship. Any doubts, guys? Any doubts? That is your what encapsulation concept, Kalyani. You have learned encapsulation, I think. Why we make attributes as private and methods as public. Okay, Janardhan and Kirtishri has some doubts. Kirtishri, you can speak if you have some doubts.
Sir, can you hear me, sir? Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Screen is not visible or not audible. So again,
So can you hear me, sir?
Me? Can you hear me, guys? Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
now we are
Is my
audible,
screen
sir.
visible now?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Janathan, you had it out? Sorry, guys, there is some problem with this platform itself.
who wants to use?
There's a bit at work.
Sir,
Yes, yes, Janardhan. Yes, yes. Yes, Janardhan. So, is my screen visible to you people? I'll be giving the assignment to you people. Please take down. Vinod, I have not taught you 1 to 2. There's no 1 to 2 and all. Just wait a little bit. Today's session is over, guys. So, try to perform the same operation at home. And you have the assignment. Please take down. Just go through it. You will get to understand. Okay. Just go through it once. You'll get to understand. We will be repeating this again tomorrow. Don't worry. Okay, so your assignment is to create new Maven project, create DTO classes for person and Aadhaar. Okay, person and Aadhaar. Then create DAO class, DAO classes for both person and Aadhaar, both person and Aadhaar. Okay, separately perform perform CRUD operations on them. CRUD operations on them. Okay, on both person and Aadhaar. Okay, both person and Aadhaar. Okay, there is few things that you may not be able to do, but perform how much ever is possible to you people. Perform those steps, and I want you to submit this assignment in QTalk. Got it? You all have to submit this assignment in QTalk. Yes, yes, Janardhan. Please take a screenshot of this first. Please take the screenshot of this first. We'll discuss it later.
sir,
Before, just
sir,
take a
can you hear me,
screenshot.
sir?
We'll talk. Oh God. Janardhan, you can't hear me. Can you hear me, Janardhan? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We
Sorry,
can
guys,
hear.
there is. Yeah, please take a screenshot before there is network issues. Please take a
Sure.
screenshot of assignment. Yeah.
Sir, after this, can you show the codes once? Like we can take the
Yes, yes,
screenshot
yes.
of it.
I'll be showing the code. Yes, yes. I'll be
Okay.
showing the code. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Try to perform these operations, guys. Don't just wait for me to do everything. Try to do yourself. Okay.
Sir,
Take a screenshot of this also. Take a screenshot of this also. I'll be not showing it again, guys. Whoever wants to screenshot, please take it. I want the assignment to be done and sent in Q Talk. Okay? In Q Talk. Okay. I'm showing the pan here, pan class. Take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this also. Person class. Hope you took the screenshot. Take a screenshot of this also. Hope you have took the screenshot. Now I'll be showing the other project we did on CRUD operations. I'm showing you the item. Take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of DAO class. Sorry, not this one. Okay, this one. Take a screenshot of this. You people can hear me, right? I can see no response.
yes, sir, audible.
We can hear you.
Okay. Take a screenshot of this also. Okay, hope you took screenshot on this. I'll be displaying the driver class here. Take a screenshot of this. Hope you took the screenshot of this. Take a screenshot from here also. Okay. So, did you all receive the screenshot, guys? Everyone? Okay. So, guys, try to do the assignment. I don't want you to be. I don't want you people to wait for me to do everything. Try to do it on yourself. You can understand it's not that tough topic. Hibernate is not that tough topic.
Hello, sir.
Okay,
Can
so
you show
try
the
to do
same?
it on yourself and submit
Hello,
the
sir.
assignment. I want you to submit the assignment. Either it is complete or not completed. How much ever you can, how much ever you can, please try to do it and send it. Okay. I want your effort. I want your effort. Not perfection. I'm not asking for your perfection. I'm asking for your efforts. Okay. Yes, you have to do using one-to-one mapping. You have to do using one-to-one mapping, guys. You have to do the assignment using one-to-one mapping.
Sir.
Okay? Rutika and Ritika both has always has doubts.
No, no, sir. Just
Okay,
I was
guys,
making sure.
please come up and speak. What you have any doubts, Ritika?
Yes, sir. So I was just making sure in assignment we will have two separate DTO and DO class, and there
Ritika
will be
has a
one
doubt.
single driver class, right?
So DTO class means declaring private variables for both.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Ritika, you have a doubt.
Hello. Sir, am I audible? Hello.
No, you're not
Hello.
audible. You're not audible, Ritika. Your people are not audible. Sorry, guys. Maybe this platform itself has some issues. I'll just talk to the HRs. Yeah, I'll talk to the people who are taking care of this and try to find a way to clear it out. These things, guys. I cannot hear Ritika. Sorry. As you can see my screen, I have unmuted every people. I've never muted people. Ritika, I know you're hearing me. I cannot hear you. There is some issue. I'll just try to resolve it. Okay, try to perform the operations, guys. Yes, there will be two to separate DTO classes and DAO classes. Okay. Yeah, single driver class. No need of two driver classes. You can keep single driver class itself. You're just calling your methods. That's it there. That's why. Okay. But you'll be having two DAO classes and DTO classes. Please explain DTO class not getting. See, DTO class is nothing. It's a data transfer object. Okay. Where you will declare your normal Pojo class. Okay. You'll be declaring your normal Pojo class where it will be you'll be having private variables and uh, public methods. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. An object used to transfer the data. A DAO class is nothing but which is accessing some data and up, sort interacting with the database. You can tell a DAO class is nothing but which is interacting with a database. A DTO class is not interacting with a database, but it is transferring the data within the same project itself. It is transferring the data within the same project itself. As you can see, my item class is a DTO class. I have created inside my main method, which is in driver class, and I'm sending